What's going on, everybody? I'm Giant Opinion Sports, and today we're going to talk about a highly touted prospect. That is George Karlaftis. And he seems to be really high with some people, really low with others. I said we're going to find a little happy medium today. The last few prospects I've scouted are, pretty much all top of the draft kind of people, so they didn't really have a whole lot of negatives. We got only a few today, but I really think the good will outweigh the bad. But I gotta be honest, I had some preconceived notions before watching the film that I just kind of listened to other people. I understand how people form some opinions on him. I thought I was gonna pop on the film and see a guy that doesn't have great burst or athleticism. The first 5 snaps I watched dispelled that narrative quickly. His burst off the line is great, especially when you factor in his 275 pounds, and he carries his burst up the field nicely. So many players burst off the line and can't carry it through their first 4 or 5 steps. Karlaftis does this well with surprising power. I always talk about edge rushers transferring speed to power. That's what separates the men from the boys. Especially getting high sack totals. I think Karlaftis will excel in that department. I do think he has to trust his speed more often. I think the narrative he's only a power guy comes from him cutting off his speed rushes to take an inside move. I know he loves his inside moves and counters, but he really needs to stay committed to them speed rushes. He really does. And when he gets to the NFL, coaches are probably going to harp on him about it. So it's there. I think he'll improve on this. So I will say, I do see reps where there's speed to power. It ain't like he can't do it. He's got it in him. I'm sure some people will retort and point to his length as a possible another negative. I'm not huge on harping on length. If a guy has good overall athleticism and hand technique, I don't worry too much. Unless they're extremely short arms and you see it's an issue on tape. Other than a couple snaps throughout everything I watched, it didn't show up with Karlaftis. But I will say, he's not the longest guy in the world, but I do like his overall size. I think he'll be fine. The one little thing that kind of concerned me more than anything is I see him playing high at times. But as he gets reps, at the next level, I could see him improving at this. Overall, though, I love his hand placement. He's heavy-handed. I like his timing with his swipes, his chops. Tackles should be careful trying to hand fight with him. His inside hand is awesome. He does a good job keeping O-linemen out of his body, and he puts himself in a good spot to throw out a pass rush move. His speed in his punch and power will give Karlaftis a nice weapon to work with. And when you combine that with his array of pass rushing moves, he's got some good options day one as a pass rusher. I've seen so many talented pass rushers never make an impact in the NFL because they have no pass rush moves, pure and simple. You can get away with just athleticism in college, but these tackles in the NFL, they do not fuck around. You better have counters for your counters. When you line up against the big boys, they don't play. But I did like his bull rush that I saw on tape, on top of all his other traditional pass rush moves. I saw him trying to throw in some spins. I like him to stay away from that. He's not a spin guy. He's really good in the run game, I'll say that. He does a good job at getting push off the line. He stacks up well. I think he could be really good against the run with him in the NFL. Give him some time to develop. It could be good. He's going to have to overcome the length problem we spoke about. But so far, he's done great with that. From the reps I saw on tape, and he is a disruptor against the run. I will just say it. He seems to get what he wants. His size and burst really opens up penetration, and he is capable of blowing up any run play at any time. And a huge part of it is just his effort. His effort is excellent. Karlaftis runs hot. His effort is a treat to watch, honestly. It was pretty impressive. He's got no stopping him at all. It honestly may be his best trait. He's going to go balls to the wall. If he doesn't make a play, it will never be from lack of effort. Another part of his game that deserves mentioning is his intelligence. He's got a great feeling for the game. You can tell he puts in a lot of work off the field, and especially in situational football. If a tackle is over a setting, he's going to rip inside 9 out of 9 times. There was plays where I saw him a little slow to react, but I think that overall awareness kind of really helped him get back on track in them plays. There wasn't many plays he just put himself completely out of. So not elite instincts or anything, but very, very, very good instincts. He's breeding all the players in his area. But to summarize, George Karlaftis is a player that has good burst, speed, and power. And when you combine that with his natural feel for the game and tons of pass rushing moves, he's a nightmare for all NFL tackles. I think he'll be a versatile player that will disrupt plays against the pass and the run. He lacks that elite strength and elite speed, but he has the tools to overcome all of his shortcomings. Some will be overly cautious because Karlaftis don't look like your prototypical modern day edge rusher. But actually, I like his frame. He's already filled out, and I think he can produce day one in the NFL. Maybe he doesn't have the highest ceiling because of his limitations, but I think he's a high floor guy. I wouldn't draft him with a top 10 pick. I've heard some people having him go 7 to my Giants. That's a little rich for my blood. But anywhere outside of that top 10, I think a team will get a lot of value with Karlaftis. I think he'll be fine in any defensive scheme. Maybe he projects a bit better, to have in a scheme where his hand's in the dirt, but I don't think he'll have a problem standing up at all. I think he can get you 8 to 10 sacks every season and develop into a good to great run defender. He could be great. Comp-wise, I've seen a lot of Ryan Kerrigan out there. That's not bad. I can see that. I think Trey Hendrickson on the Bengals is a much better comp for Karlaftis. And I think we've seen the type of impact a guy like Trey Hendrickson can have on a team. He's a huge reason why the Bengals are playing in the Super Bowl this year. But I surprisingly came away thinking that Karlaftis is a bit of an underrated prospect. That's it. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching, subscribe. Plenty more of these draft prospects to go. Please leave a like. These kind of videos take a while to make. It's always nice to see the likes on my videos. It's a big motivator for me. But everybody stay safe out there. Stay warm. It's freezing out. What is happening? Peace.